Hi, my name is Crystal Barshaki, and I'm an occupational therapist here at Therapy Playground.
And I'm Chanelise. I am a Level 2 Fieldwork occupational therapy student here at Therapy Playground.
Okay, so today we're going to talk about WFOT, or the World Federation of Occupational Therapy. I attended the conference in May of 2018 in South Africa, and we're going to give you a little bit of information about it, and my student here is going to ask some questions just to kind of go over some different topics.
So what exactly is the WFOT?
Okay, so WFOT, the World Federation of Occupational Therapy, Congress or conference or organization, started in 1951. You can get more information from their website, but I think it's been now for 66 years. It's a collaboration of occupational therapists from around the world. So it's, a vast variety of countries, and it's made for networking, going to workshops that they host. They have online publications. They have a variety of different opportunities for you to learn or network. They also do have some forums that you can participate in as well.
That's so cool. Which countries did you meet people from?
So at the conference, there were a variety of countries. I wish I remembered how many people were actually different countries attended, but I got to meet people from Iceland, Trinidad and Tobago, of course South Africa, met some from Nigeria, Great Britain, China, the Philippines. There were also other countries that I didn't meet people specifically from, but I know that they attended. Pakistan, Afghanistan, India. There were quite a few, so it's vast.
That's awesome. What was your biggest takeaway from going to the conference?
I think the main thing that I would consider the biggest takeaway would be, reminding me of cultural competency. Okay. And while we all feel that we have it or that we're, right into it, it was a great reminder during some of the lectures that I went to about the overall assessments that are presented, and a lot of them are, either like the Canadian ones or the United States ones, and that's our typical norms, or the Canadians' typical norms. But that's not comparative to the rest of the world. So those countries can't use those assessments because that's not their norms.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So it reminded me that if we get a kid here, maybe if they just move from another country that may not be their norms. Even if they score great, maybe that means that they scored less compared to their norms, or a lot less or great, or whatever it may be. It just reminded me of that.
That's a great point. So would you say that there are any differences between how the U.S. approaches OT versus other countries?
I definitely think that there is. I feel that the U.S. definitely has a payer source focus, where in other countries a lot of them don't have insurance, or they're more community resources, community outreach programs. And I don't feel like their main focus is that. Also, I don't know if they use as many assessments for one of the reasons, as I just said. A lot of them are working on creating their own if they haven't already, but they don't have as many assessments to utilize. Okay. So it's not as payer source focused.
That makes sense. So what do you think is the benefit of attending a WFOT conference then?
I definitely feel like the overall educational piece, I did realize that a lot of research was being completed around the world over the same topics. For instance, a lot of people were looking at using the co-op with kids with cerebral palsy, and I thought that was very interesting because it wasn't just one country. If I'm not mistaken, it was 3.
Wow. And
I don't feel like they were chatting and in cahoots together about this research. So it was really cool to see that everyone was doing it. Again, also to see that a lot of the emerging practices aren't just in one area. A lot of places were looking at community outreach programs with the homeless, or with incoming refugees, or human trafficking in general. So it was just very nice to see that everyone is all working together and we all have one focus.
That's amazing. So did you feel like it was different than maybe attending the National AOTA conference or your local state conference?
I definitely do feel like in some ways it was. For one, the location was different, and that was great. But I feel like they had a lot of networking capabilities, and I know that some countries actually had their own personal parties to kind of network, because you may not see everyone in your country. But also they really focused on research from around the world rather than specific workshops, and it's not as CEU focused when the focus is getting to know all the research from around the world.
That's awesome. It seems like it was such a good experience. Thank you for answering all my questions today.
All right, of course. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Bye. I wonder if I talk too fast.